In the Metropolitan Police area alone, over 100 of these crimes happen every single day. Recent statistics bear out a terrifying reality. 106,000 mobile phones were stolen in London from March 2024 to February 2025, according to police data. That is a staggering 25% increase from the previous year. Theft from the person has surged 41%, fueled by phone thefts and bag snatches in crowded tourist zones. Between September 2024 and 2025, there were 54,000 crimes of robbery, representing an 8.7% increase. This is not from a foreign invasion. It is not from a natural disaster. It is from organised criminal gangs who are brazenly robbing, stabbing, and terrorising Londoners in broad daylight, while overwhelmed, police struggle to respond. At 8:12 p.m, the reality on London streets becomes impossible to ignore. Phones stay hidden in pockets, heads stay down, eyes constantly scan for movement. Across the capital, people move faster, gripping their belongings tighter, knowing a single moment of distraction is enough. In the past year alone, over 54,000 robberies were recorded. Police now advise citizens to physically tether their phones to their bodies. Students avoid certain streets entirely. This is not how a modern capital functions. This is how a war zone functions. Do you feel safe holding your phone in public? Comment safe below right now. Tell the Mayor and the Prime Minister that their safe city is a lie. Make your voice heard before they censor this video. At 8:27 p.m, the pattern becomes impossible to deny. This isn't random theft. It is a supply chain. Stolen phones vanish within minutes, wrapped in foil or Faraday bags to block tracking signals, rushed through couriers, then funneled out of the country. Investigators confirmed thousands of devices are being shipped to China and Hong Kong, feeding an international black market. In one operation near Heathrow, police intercepted a shipment containing nearly 1,000 stolen iPhones. This network is responsible for up to 40% of all phone thefts in London. Each handset earns thieves £200 to £300 on the street, then resells overseas for as much as £5,000. The math is simple. The risk is low, the profit is enormous. What looks like chaos on the pavement is in reality a highly organised export business running in plain sight. At 8:41 p.m, the situation crosses a line. What began as theft has now turned into open confrontation across London. Reports surge of riders on e-bikes and mopeds swarming busy streets, striking without warning. Phones are ripped from hands in seconds. Victims barely have time to react before the attackers vanish into traffic. In 1 year alone, more than 23,000 moped-enabled crimes were recorded. Some offenders are stealing one phone every 3 minutes, operating with speed and precision that police struggle to match. Witnesses describe attackers wielding knives and hammers, threatening anyone who resists. In central London, a single offender was later linked to 21 phone robberies in just 1 hour. The message is clear. This is no longer petty crime. It is organised intimidation. As darkness settles, tensions rise. Small confrontations erupt. Shouting matches spill onto pavements. Police sirens echo, but arrive too late. By this point, fear has spread beyond victims. Shopkeepers lock doors early. Pedestrians cross streets to avoid groups. Social media fills with warnings. Don't walk alone. Don't take your phone out. Don't stop moving. The city feels brittle, on edge. Londoners sense what authorities won't say out loud. Control is slipping. What makes it worse is the visibility. These crimes aren't hidden in alleyways. They happen under streetlights, outside stations, in front of tourists, and every successful theft sends a signal to the next offender watching nearby. The streets are yours for the taking. By 9:18 p.m, the tension spills into something darker. What began as fear now turns into anger. Across London, reports flood in of crowds gathering, shouting, pushing back, and demanding answers as crime continues unchecked. In several boroughs, shop fronts are forced shut early. Sirens echo non-stop. Videos spread online showing chaotic scenes, thefts happening in plain sight, scuffles breaking out, and police struggling to hold the line. The sense of order that once defined the city feels fragile, almost ceremonial. As the night deepens, the situation escalates. Groups of youths move through transport hubs and high streets, grabbing phones, bags, and anything within reach. In some areas, police are overwhelmed, stretched thin by simultaneous incidents. Response time slow. Officers are forced to choose which calls to answer. In others, they arrive only after the suspects have vanished into the labyrinth of the city. The public watches as enforcement buckles under the pressure. Then the anger turns upward. By late evening, crowds begin gathering in visible frustration. Chants grow louder. Signs appear calling for accountability. The message is blunt. Enough is enough. People demand action. They demand answers. And above all, they demand leadership. Yet from the top, there is silence. Prime Minister Starmer does not address the unfolding crisis. No emergency statement, no reassurance, no visible presence. That silence speaks volumes. It tells the public that their safety is secondary to the government's PR strategy. The mainstream media downplays this crisis because it contradicts their narrative. They want you to believe that crime is falling because homicide rates are down, while ignoring the explosion of robbery and theft that affects your daily life. They want this channel shut down because we expose the reality on the streets. The only way to beat their algorithm and keep seeing the uncensored truth is to subscribe to this channel right now. Like this video and share it everywhere. Do not let them gaslight you. Social media fills the gap left by the government. Footage of robberies, confrontations, and police struggling to maintain control spreads faster than official statements ever could. Hashtags trend. Videos of frightened commuters and furious shop owners go viral. The mood shifts from fear to outrage. Many are no longer asking when things will change. They are asking who allowed this to happen. Protests grow louder into the night. Calls for resignation echo across online platforms and in the streets. People accuse the government of losing control, of prioritizing narratives over safety. The phrase "out of control" repeats again and again, not as commentary, but as lived experience. Police sources quietly admit the truth. Resources are stretched, morale is low, and the scale of street crime has outpaced their ability to contain it. Officers are exhausted. Communities are on edge. Trust is eroding. By 9:35 p.m, the scale of what has happened is no longer in doubt. London is not experiencing a temporary spike in crime. It is undergoing a structural shift. The numbers confirm it. Nearly 1 million crimes were recorded in a single year. Over 116,000 phones stolen in the last reported year, averaging 320 a day, or one every 5 minutes, with more than 97,000 thefts from the person. These are not isolated incidents. They are patterns repeating night after night, burr after borough. Across the capital, daily behaviour has changed. Commuters walk faster. Tourists clutch their bags. Students avoid certain streets entirely. The idea of standing still with a phone in hand has become unthinkable in many areas. Police statistics show that nearly 40% of all phone thefts now occur in central London, the very places once considered safest. Westminster, Camden, Kensington, names once associated with stability now appear repeatedly in crime reports. And it's not just London. Data from 2025 shows the UK leads Europe in mobile phone thefts, with claims up 425% since 2021, and London accounting for 42% of UK thefts, equating to 16% of all in Europe. Businesses feel the pressure. 2 music shops close earlier. Security guards are posted at entrances. The country is bracing itself for more scenes like this. Some retailers no longer intervene when theft occurs, fearing violence. Shoplifting alone has risen 54% year-on-year, feeding the same criminal networks responsible for street robberies. What begins as theft in a store often ends as violence on the pavement. The psychological impact is impossible to ignore. Residents speak of constant vigilance. Visitors describe shock. Emergency services report exhaustion. Behind the numbers lies a deeper change. Trust has eroded. Trust in safety. Trust in deterrence. Trust that help will arrive in time. And yet, the statistics continue to climb. Theft from the person now stands at 22 times the national average. Robbery has increased by nearly 9% in a single year. Organized groups move freely, adapting faster than enforcement can respond. Devices stolen in seconds are shipped overseas within hours. By the time victims file reports, their phones are already gone, erased, resold, and unrecoverable. Recent investigations, like the one reported by the BBC in October 2025, uncovered an international gang smuggling up to 40,000 stolen phones from the UK to China, potentially responsible for half of London's thefts. What makes this moment different is not just the crime itself, but the normalization of it. Warnings circulate online as survival advice. Don't stop, don't argue, don't resist. These are not slogans of fear. They are instructions for daily life in a city that no longer feels predictable. By late evening, London feels altered. Not collapsed, but strained. Not lawless, but brittle. A city still functioning, yet visibly under pressure. The numbers tell the story. The streets confirm it. And the people living through it understand something has shifted, perhaps permanently. As the night moves on, one truth lingers above all others. This crisis is no longer emerging. It has arrived. It didn't happen in a single dramatic moment, but through thousands of small surrenders accumulating over years. And until something fundamentally changes, the numbers will continue to rise. The streets will continue to harden, and life in one of the world's great cities will continue to feel just a little less safe with every passing day. This is where London stands tonight, not defeated, but undeniably altered. But we must look beyond the immediate fear to the terrifying future this trajectory predicts. If we look 5 years down the road, we are witnessing the Brezilification of the United Kingdom. We are moving toward a society where the rich live in gated communities with private security, while the public streets are surrendered to the mob. In 5 years, if this trend continues, you will not be able to wear a watch in public. You will not be able to use a phone at a bus stop. The concept of public safety will be a luxury product available only to those who can afford private transport and private protection. Despite initiatives like Operation Swipe, which reduced thefts by 30% in the City of London in early 2025, the overall surge tripling from 28,609 in 2020 to 80,588 in 2024 shows these efforts are patchwork at best, failing to stem the tide as gangs adapt and expand to other cities like Paris and New York, where similar patterns are emerging. The government insists progress is being made. Their statements reference reductions, pilot programs, and long-term strategies. But on the ground, none of that is visible. What people see are shuttered shops, anxious commuters, and viral videos of crimes unfolding in seconds. Calm down. They see a capital where safety has become conditional. This normalization of crime is the most dangerous phase of all. When the police advise you to hide your phone, they are admitting they cannot protect you. They are shifting the burden of safety from the state to the victim. It is an admission of surrender. The social contract, the agreement that you pay taxes and the state keeps the streets safe, has been shredded, and the economic consequences of this surrender will be catastrophic. London relies on its image as a global destination. But who will visit a city where you cannot take a photograph of Big Ben without risking a knife to the throat? Who will send their children to study in a city where don't walk alone is the standard advice for students? The brand London is being destroyed, not by a foreign enemy, but by domestic negligence. The tourist dollars will dry up, the international students will go elsewhere, and the businesses that rely on foot traffic will close their doors forever. We are already seeing the beginning of this exodus. He was arrested after what police said was serious and sustained violence when hundreds rampaged through the centre of Sunderland on Friday night. The shuttered storefronts on Oxford Street are not just victims of online shopping, they are victims of an environment where customers are too afraid to shop. But the most tragic cost is human. As this night comes to an end, one thing is clear. This story isn't just about crime statistics or stolen phones. It's about people. Ordinary people trying to live their lives in a city that no longer feels predictable. It is about the student walking home with keys clenched in their fist as a makeshift weapon. It is about the nurse checking over her shoulder every 10 seconds on the way to the night shift. It is about the parents warning their children not to take their phones out in public, robbing them of the freedom to just be kids. Real stories flood social media, like one victim on Instagram who had their phone snatched in broad daylight on New North Road in 2025. Tracked to Hackney, then shipped to China within 72 hours, police powerless to act. Sunday's attack on a hotel housing asylum seekers in Rouen, condemned as terrorism by a former police chief who once led the country's response to the issue. This isn't how a modern capital is supposed to feel. And yet, for millions of Londoners, this has quietly become normal. Not because they accept it, but because they have been forced to adapt. When fear becomes routine, when caution replaces freedom, something deeper is lost. Not just safety, but trust. Trust in systems, trust in leadership, trust that tomorrow will be better than today. This video isn't meant to spread panic. It's meant to ask a simple, uncomfortable question. How did we get here? How did we let a small minority of organized criminals hold a city of 9 million people hostage? And how much further can this go before the city breaks?
What if this spreads to other Western cities, as trends in Europe suggest, turning public spaces into no-go zones for the average citizen?
Because behind every number is a person. Behind every statistic is a moment of fear, anger, or loss. And behind every unanswered question is a growing sense that people are being asked to endure what should never have become normal. The government can manipulate the homicide stats to claim crime is falling, but they cannot manipulate the feeling in your gut when you hear a moped engine revving behind you. So now we ask you, the viewer, the citizen, the taxpayer, do you feel safer than you did 3 years ago? Have you changed how you move, where you go, or what you carry? Do you believe this is being handled, or do you believe you are being ignored? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters more than ever, because the mainstream media is not asking these questions. They are too busy reading the press releases from Downing Street. If this story resonated with you, stay with us. Not for outrage, not for fear, but for clarity, accountability, and the truth behind the headlines. Because this isn't just London's story. It is a warning to every major city in the West. When you stop enforcing the law for the small crimes like theft, you invite the chaos that follows. The broken window theory is no longer a theory. It is the reality of our daily lives. The police may have retreated, the politicians may have hidden, but we are still here and we will keep watching, keep filming, and keep demanding the safety we were promised. Stay tuned for the next update.